Konnichiwa, I'm Paqupel, your guide to Japanese flavors. Today, we're making Katsudon, double-fried, crispy tonkatsu simmered in a savory dashi broth and finished with silky, soft-set egg with the taste of a Japanese diner made at home. Katsudon is made by simmering tonkatsu in a sweet and savory dashi broth, finishing it with egg and serving it over rice. The combination of dashi, soy sauce, and mirin gives it a distinctly Japanese flavor. Hearty and satisfying, it has long been a beloved everyday dish across Japan. The name also carries a playful meaning. Katsu sounds like the Japanese word for to win, making Katsudon a traditional meal eaten before exams or important challenges. We hope you enjoy this iconic bowl of Japanese comfort food at home. Alright, let's start cooking. Pat the pork loin cutlets dry with paper towels. Score the boundary between the fat and lean meat in several places. Then pierce the surface all over with a fork or knife tip. Scoring and piercing the meat prevents it from curling during frying and helps it cook evenly. Season both sides with salt and pepper. In a bowl, whisk together the egg, water, and flour to make a smooth batter. Coat the cutlets in the batter. Then press on a generous layer of panko breadcrumbs. Fresh panko gives the crust a thicker, lighter texture that holds up well after simmering in broth, keeping a pleasant bite throughout. Heat the oil to 320 to 340 degrees Fahrenheit. When you dip a chopstick into the oil, small, gentle bubbles rising steadily from the tip indicate the correct temperature. Fry the cutlets for 2 to 3 minutes per side until cooked through. Then rest on a wire rack for 2 to 3 minutes. Resting allows the residual heat to finish cooking the interior gently, keeping the meat juicy. Raise the oil temperature to 360 degrees Fahrenheit. At this point, bubbles rising from the tip of a chopstick should be more vigorous than before. Return the cutlets and fry for a further 30 seconds to 1 minute until golden and crisp. The second fry drives out remaining moisture, giving the crust its signature crunch. Rest for 1 to 2 minutes. Resting before slicing allows the juices to settle so less runs out when you cut. Slice into bite-sized strips. In a small frying pan or saucepan, combine the dashi stock, mirin, sake, soy sauce, and sugar for 1 serving. For the dashi, check the description for more details. Dashi powder or plain water can be used as substitutes. Bring to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, reduce to medium heat, add the sliced onion. Simmer for 3 to 5 minutes until translucent. Arrange the sliced tonkatsu and simmer for about 30 seconds to let it absorb the broth. pour the beaten egg over the tonkatsu in 2 stages. Avoid overbeating the eggs. Keeping the whites and yolk loosely combined gives Katsudon its signature texture of set white and flowing yolk. Cover and cook for 20 to 30 seconds. Once the egg begins to set at the edges, add the remaining egg. Adding the egg in 2 stages creates layers of texture, a just set base, and a soft, flowing top. Scatter over the mitsuba. It steams gently, bringing out its fragrance. Cover again and steam for 10 to 30 seconds. Turn off the heat while the egg is still slightly soft in the center. Slide gently over a bowl of warm rice. Finishing the servings individually keeps the egg texture consistent and prevents the tonkatsu crust from breaking down. Finally, we'll share where to enjoy Katsudon in Japan and a quicker version using Mentsuyu, a Japanese noodle soup base that replaces the dashi and other seasonings in one bottle. In Japan, dedicated Katsudon restaurants are rare. It is more commonly found at udon and soba restaurants or at tonkatsu specialty shops. Our recommendation is to try Katsudon at a udon or soba restaurant. These places use carefully prepared dashi for their noodle dishes, and that same dashi is what makes their Katsudon truly special. While the pork cutlet itself is important, it is the dashi that makes all the difference. If you visit Japan, we encourage you to step into a local udon or soba restaurant and order the Katsudon. It may just be the most authentic taste of traditional Japanese Katsudon you will find. Finally, let's show you how to make Katsudon even more easily using store-bought Mentsuyu. Mentsuyu is best known as a broth base for soba and udon, but it also works as a versatile all-purpose seasoning, with dashi, soy sauce, and mirin combined in one bottle. For this version, simply combine Mentsuyu and water in the pan, no individual seasonings needed. The rest of the process is exactly the same as the recipe we showed earlier. The result is a quick and satisfying bowl of Katsudon that is well worth trying.